It's been a few months since The Boys Season 4 aired its final episode, and it definitely set up a lot for Season 5. Butcher kills Victoria Newman. Homelander is now vice president thanks to Sister Sage. Ryan kills Grace Mallory. Most of the boys have been captured with some help from the Gen V characters, and even Soldier Boy is returning. The Boys Season 5, if done right, can be the best season of The Boys, so here's all I would like to see from The Boys Season 5. Starting with obviously a hope I'm sure most Boys fans have had since Season 1, Homelander needs to die. I will refrain from referring to the comics much in this video, but in the comics, Homelander dies because of Black Noir. Bear with me here, but in the comics, in heavy contrast to the show, Black Noir is actually an evil clone of Homelander, created to kill Homelander if him and his powers ever got out of control. However, this kind of contradicts itself, because in the comics, all the bad stuff we see Homelander do is actually the evil Black Noir clone. And we obviously know this is not how it's going to happen in the Boys TV series. In the Season 3 finale, Homelander kills the original Black Noir, and we've seen Season 4 Black Noir unmasked next to Homelander countless times, so it's clear that this comic storyline won't happen. From the way the show is building it, it seems to me that they're planning to use the virus tested by Dr. Samir to not only kill Homelander, but kill all Supes in the process, and I really hope this doesn't happen. Every season is almost like there's a new plan to kill Homelander, and while I'll express my frustrations with Butcher refusing to let Soldier Boy kill Homelander in Season 3, even situations like that have more of a build-up and would be a much more satisfying end to Homelander as a character than just some random virus. And also, the virus would just kill all Supes, and I really wouldn't like that to happen. There are so many good characters who just so happen to be Supes that would die from this virus, and that sacrifice just isn't worth killing Homelander in my opinion. So how would I ideally want to have Homelander die in Season 5? Well, this is actually a tough question. Homelander is so much more powerful that almost everybody in The Boys would lose a fight to him. Sure, characters like Queen Maeve and Attempt Vita Butcher have came close, but he's never gotten more than just a bruise from those two. I've seen a lot of fan discussion about them wanting A-Train to be the one to fight and kill Homelander, but I also think that's an unsatisfying way to kill Homelander. A-Train obviously has every right to want to kill Homelander. I mean, the entirety of Season 3, he was fat-shamed and almost killed because he was drinking Shake Shack.
I see you got the extra.
So, I don't have doubts that A-Train would at least want to fight Homelander. But in Season 4, after leaking Sage's plan to Huey, he realizes he's basically dead if Homelander finds out, and with no hesitation, grabs his family and leaves. He never showed up in the Season 4 finale either, so it's clear to me that A-Train clearly wants nothing to do with Homelander. And even if he did return in Season 5, I really dislike the overused character trope that once a character finally starts to right their wrongs and turn over a new leaf, they die. And I just don't want that for A-Train. Of course, I would love to see more of A-Train in Season 5 because he's a great character, but any interaction with him and Homelander is basically a death sentence. So, how would I want Homelander to die? Well, I actually do want to look at a plot point from the comics here. In the comics, all of Homelander's newly gained followers basically stormed the White House, since, remember, Homelander is in direct control of the US government now, and Butcher is the only one out of the boys to confront Homelander doing this.
There is something I do want to touch on about Butcher being the only one of the boys here, but I'll discuss that a little bit later.
It is important to note that Butcher in the comics has powers. All the boys do. So he has no fear when confronting Homelander in front of an entire Supe army. And that no fear part is important because I have a theory that Homelander doesn't kill all who don't fear him. In Season 1, he kills Madeline Stillwell, someone he loved because she lied about being afraid of him. Now, keep in mind, in this same scene, he doesn't kill Butcher. He comments on Butcher's immense hatred for him, but ultimately when the building explodes, Homelander saves Butcher. Now, sure, he probably only saved him because he wanted to show him that his wife was alive and was hiding a kid from him this whole time, but still, he saved him. But you know what else I remember from that scene? Teddy, Madeline Stillwell's son, the baby from Season 1. When Huey visits an orphanage in Season 3, one of the kids' names is Teddy Stillwell, and he's probably the same kid teleporting around the daycare. And you know how insane that'd be if Teddy helps take down Homelander alongside Butcher? Teddy has every reason in the world to hate Homelander. He's already interacted with one of the boys, and by this time, he should be at least, well, okay. The Boys Season 5 is expected to release in 2026, which would be 7 years in the real world from Season 1, where Teddy was about 1 year old. So he'd be 8? Well, not really, because we know The Boys' time doesn't coincide with the real world time, since Season 1 and Season 2 take place in around the same year, and Season 3 is only 1 year after Season 2 takes place, and Season 4 is only 6 months after Season 3, so Teddy would realistically be like 4, which I guess makes sense as to why he was in a daycare, but we have no idea how long it'd be since Season 4 once Season 5 releases, so he could be much older. The logistics of his age doesn't really matter though, since it's been confirmed that suits do not age like regular humans do. I mean, look at Stormfront. She was confirmed to be over 100 years old and she looks like 25. So I can imagine the inverse effect happening for Teddy. As for Butcher, he already took down one strong Soup and held his own with arguably the only character stronger than Homelander, Soulja Boy, while on Temp V. Now, Butcher doesn't have Temp V anymore, but he does have that weird brain cancer venom-like abilities, which can make a fight between him and Homelander fairly close. Now, how Butcher will actually win a fight against Homelander, I have no idea. Most likely, I'm sure the writers will come up with some way. I was refraining from doing the generic MCU-style CGI fight-like scene with Butcher, a few Soups, and the other boys, because the whole point of The Boys is to make fun of tropes in superhero fiction, but I would still love to see something in that style too. I know I rambled quite a lot and went off topic quite a bit here, but in similar terms, I would love to see Homelander die because of Butcher, and Teddy should return as well. Speaking of Butcher, I'd also like to see him die in Season 5. Butcher is one of my favorite characters, but it just makes sense. He's had brain cancer since the end of Season 3 and was clearly about to die soon. Whether or not he had these tentacle things come out of him, the cancer isn't gone, and he probably will die due to it by the end of Season 5. A quick comment I'd want to make though is that in the comics, Butcher kills off all the boys one by one because they have Compound V in their veins and he considers them Soups. But as we all know, only Kimiko and Starlight have Compound V out of the boys. And while Butcher has shown distaste towards those two before, if Kimiko dies, which I do believe unfortunately either her or Frenchie will die in Season 5, I don't want it to be by Butcher. A minor plot point in the later seasons of the boys was how Kimiko and Frenchie both expressed their distaste with themselves, but realized to put all that aside and realize that they love each other and will do anything to protect one another. I do believe with the storyline they're setting up with these two, one will sacrifice themselves to save the other, and more likely than not, it'd be Kimiko. I do really like Kimiko as a character, but she's died or been at risk of dying in almost every season, and I would not be surprised if it did happen. As for Starlight though, I think her and Huey are the only two characters that are 100% not dying next season. Even in the comics, where almost every member of the Seven dies, except the Peak, Starlight doesn't. And while yes, the show wildly, and for the better, differs from the comics, I really don't see a scenario where she'd die. Especially after an entire season of her being practically useless. I doubt they make her any more helpless than she was in Season 4, considering her powers just got a considerable upgrade by the end of Season 4. And also, if Starlight died, I just feel so bad for Huey. He already lost his girlfriend once, so imagine if he did for a second time, right after losing his dad too. And for Huey himself, I just don't see him dying. Huey's always stuck out to me the most out of the boys because he's always been the least physically capable, yet avoids death in so many situations by miracle, and I just want to see him get a happy ending. Remember, the show basically started with him, and he really deserves a decent closure. Ain't no party like a Tech Night party. With the confirmed return of Soulja Boy for Season 5, I'd like to see him go completely Vogue instead of allying with Butcher or Homelander. Soulja Boy has every reason to want to get revenge on Butcher because honestly, I'm still kinda mad at Butcher for not letting Soulja Boy kill Homelander, but Soulja Boy has obviously shown his distaste towards Homelander. He views him as a disappointment, but I fear that since Homelander was the one seen wanting to bring Soulja Boy back, that won't happen. Regardless of what they do with Soulja Boy in Season 5, I'm just super glad to have him back since he was one of the funniest characters in Season 3. Also, Ryan needs to die. I don't care how, I don't care if it's in a stupid way or in a really gruesome way, he just needs to die. I don't like his character, I think he's really annoying, and he's been the reason why Homelander has avoided death so many times throughout the show, so yeah, he needs to go. But with that being said, that's really all my wants and hopes for Season 5 of The Boys. I know we won't get that season for another 2 years, which kinda sucks, but I know the amount of time and dedication that goes into making a show of this magnitude. If you guys enjoyed this video, don't forget to leave a like on the video and subscribe to the channel if you are new, and comment down below what you'd like to see in The Boys Season 5. Thank you all so much for watching this video, and I'll see you all in the next one.